Pulse with Kyle Chandler, and now we're going to meet the other half, the better half. She's got such a long list of credits, man. You guys already know her from Spin City and 24 and West Wing. Now, while I'm dishing up the rest of our buffalo chicken meatballs, very tasty football idea, check out this clip from Friday Night Lights.
Mom, I got my permit. I need to practice.
I'm aware of that.
Okay, but it's kind of like homework, you know? Like, you need to practice in order to pass.
I'm not going to do it right this second. Gracie is almost asleep. I'm exhausted. I'm watching your dad's game. And I'm not going to just drop everything every time you want me to go do something. I'm sorry.
Why is it always about the baby, Mom? I'm still here, okay? You know that, right? You know I'm still your daughter, too, just as much as little Bob.
I'm aware of that, but you don't have to act like such a brat about it all the time.
Please welcome Connie Britton! You are so gorgeous!
You guys are such an amazing audience, and I see the key is the food.
The food, yeah.
It's always
it smells like
about
buffalo
the
chicken
food.
meatballs. Yeah. But I love those, by the way. And they're finger friendly, you know. They're just all white meat ground chicken. You make little meatballs and you roll them around in the hot sauce. Very delicious. Much better than the wings.
And it's high protein. It's a high protein snack.
It's a high protein snack.
It's a high protein football snack.
Until you dip it in the blue cheese dressing, of course. But whatever.
Whatever.
Who's counting?
Yeah, really.
So, do you ever tailgate?
Well, you know what I mean?
That would be a no.
That would be a no. Because I have started to tailgate now that I've been living in Texas and working in Texas, because you have to tailgate. You go to UT football games.
Do they let
and
you
tailgate
live down there without tailgating?
No.
So you can
I am
take
forced
this now.
I know. So now I'm going to take this.
You're going to be popular now.
I'm also a terrible cook.
But this is easy. You just got to roll some little meatballs. It's easy.
I could
you
do that.
Can do this.
I could do
you
that.
Can do
I can
this.
do that, and I can scramble some eggs.
You just doubled your repertoire.
I just doubled my repertoire. This is the best day. I'm so
Were you ever a cheerleader? Because you tall, gorgeous. I mean, you know, you would have been like,
No.
you look like the cheerleader
If
type.
I had been a cheerleader, I would probably know more about football. No, I was not.
Well, I don't know. I was a cheerleader. We weren't watching anything but how cute the boys were in their tight clothes.
Well, you know, I know that, and that is really actually another fun thing about being on my show. I have to say.
Yeah, you have got it good, girl.
I
You're surrounded by
know.
tons of men.
I know. Well, Kyle Chandler, for example.
Yeah, not bad.
Oh my gosh, y'all! Don't make his head any bigger than
I know.
it
He barely made it out of the building.
I know. I'm surprised he fit in the first place. Frankly,
We did have to use the freight elevator.
I'm
yes,
sure
we
you did. I like to think of his head as freight.
But you did a lot of bouncing around. They told me that you were. What did you do before you were in all of these fabulous TV shows?
Oh, you mean when I was pounding the pavement in New York? Mm-hmm. Really trying to be. I taught aerobics.
Can't you just see
Back
that?
in the good old days when it
Leg
was, you know,
warmers,
leg
the whole
warmers, bandana, you know, the whole.
Oh my God! Remember the Olivia Newton-John, the Get Physical headband?
Like, you know, like grapevine and grapevine. You know, I mean, like the whole, like I'm not. I mean, it was like embarrassing. It was embarrassing. But whatever. You know, it was a great way to make money. It was a great way to like stay in shape.
Was it good money?
No, it was okay. It was fine. For me, it was fine.
Well, I mean, if you were making it in New York that way, I mean,
In New York,
had to do okay.
It was definitely, it was.
Had to do all right.
I survived.
What is it like being on the set with all of those fellas, though? Do they treat you like a little sister, or do they pull pranks on you?
Yeah. Oh God. Well, you know, Kyle actually is the worst about pulling pranks. I mean, truthfully, being around all those guys is like heaven. You know, they treat you like a princess, and I'm sort of, you know, and I kind of, you know, they all think that you're
And you
really
don't
special,
stop them.
and I don't stop them because that would be just crazy if I were to stop them. But no, Kyle is the worst about practical jokes, and he's the worst about practical jokes, and I am the most gullible person on the planet. Which makes it all the more enjoyable for him to play practical jokes on me.
What was one of your most miserable?
Well, I have to say, I got him back one time, which made me really happy because
let's tell that story.
That's better. Rather than the multitude of times that he's gotten me, I'll tell you about when I got him back just once. Because the most important thing to Kyle, which is part of what makes him so great, he has this amazing family, and the most important thing to him is getting home with his family on the weekend. So I got the producer and the executive producer, all these people behind me to tell him that he was going to have to stay. He had planned to go home on a weekend, to say he was going to have to stay and shoot a scene on a Saturday. He could not go home.
Oh, that is
and they like sent him a memo and an email and the whole thing. And I was so excited. I'm like, this is great. I'm getting him right where it counts with the family. Good for me. So
you're wicked.
I know, I was so wicked. So then I was walking with him, and he'd just gotten the news, and he's on the phone with his wife. He's like, well, I don't know, hon. I mean, I don't know who else to talk to. I mean, if I were to talk to my manager, I mean, should I just call Peter Berg? Should I call Jeff Zucker? Jeff Zucker, who is the head of,
That's the big muckety.
He's like the big, and suddenly I'm turning white, panicking, like he's going to call, like
He's going to call
the head of, NBC because he's going to have to work on Saturday, which he doesn't really have to do, which I orchestrated the whole thing. So he got off the phone, and I told him that in fact he did not have to work, that I had orchestrated it, and he thought that was great because he appreciates practical jokes, but he made me call his wife to tell her.
Oh, man.
Luckily his wife and I love her and we get along great. And so I called her, I said, Kath, okay, I'm really sorry. And she said, Connie, my children are crying right now. I felt hard. She's like, you're going to have to get them a great Christmas present. I'm like, okay, I'm really sorry.
So really, in the end, he got you back.
So he got me anyway. I mean, it's just not
We
fair.
should have spiked his chicken balls.
Why didn't you?
Maybe we did, Kyle. Maybe put a little drop of something in there, huh?
Give me those, and I'll give them to him later. And
Put a little something in them.
I'll just stop off at the arsenic store on the way home.
Oh, that's a little strong, dear. Maybe a few eye drops. Make him go to the men's a little too often.
Is that what we're obviously?
Just
you've
make
done
sure
this
you're
before.
not doing any bed scenes with him the same day.
Oh, interesting. Okay, you obviously have experience in this arena.
Well,
In the spiking of the food
Friday
arena.
Night Lights airs Friday. Friday Night Lights airs on Fridays, of course, 9 o'clock, and it's just a great family show, and we love it. And thank you so much for coming.
Yeah.
And we got the whole couple here. No, we didn't put anything in your chicken balls. Don't worry.
I think we're safe.
We'll be back in a couple. In a few, two women who make a living.